This is a really tricky video to make, and that is because we're doing what I think is the best medium in World of Tanks Blitz. And the problem is, there are so many good mediums in the game currently. Let me explain. We have the 121B, which has its incredibly good adaptive concealment ability, allowing you to have the advantage of your opponents not only getting unspotted 3 seconds faster, but also knowing who detected you. Pair that with a solid turret, good mobility, and great DPM, and the 121B is absolutely amazing. I love the tank. And then you go to the 121, which has more armor than the 121B. It has a higher alpha at 420. It has tungsten and adrenaline, great mobility, and is easily one of the highest outputting damage vehicles in Tier 10. You have the M48 Patton, which has great gun depression at 9 degrees over the front. It has a turret that you literally cannot pen when using gun depression, solid DPM, accuracy, and pen. Again, another fantastic medium. The E50M, it's fast. It has great turret armor, great mobility, solid accuracy, and it's just a freaking beast. It's literally a heavy tank with medium tank mobility, and because of that, you are able to dominate people in front of you. Kampfpanzer 50 ton has DPM similar to that of the Leopard and the Object 140, but has armor similar to that of an E50M. It has gun depression. It has mobility. This is kind of the jack of all trades medium, and when you pair that with the fact that it can also run tungsten, yeah, it's kind of stupid. The Leopard 1, while it does not feature everything, does have light tank mobility and the highest DPM with best accuracy in the game. T-22 medium has armor, and it has a pretty accurate gun with decent DPM. The 140, yeah, this one's definitely not making the list. The T-62A has solid armor, decent gun depression, and overall a good alpha to get the job done compared to the other Soviet mediums. The 907 has accuracy, DPM, mobility, and even the tracer shells mechanic allowing you to outspot opponents and keep them lit up the entire game. The FV4202, while definitely not the best medium, in certain games can definitely be a contender. The vehicle features a Hesh gun which is unmatched in terms of damage output, has incredible DPM, and is just a fun vehicle because of that. The STB, 11 degrees of gun depression, AP premium with over 320 mils of pen, and when you pair all that together with great armor and decent mobility, is a really solid tank. The AMX-30B, 10 degrees of gun depression, fantastic DPM, solid turret armor, and a great gun in any situation you need, paired with ridiculously good accuracy. The CS, yeah, pile of shit. Let's move on. TVP 5051, obviously features its insanely good clip. It's got great gun depression. Again, just stupid high damage outputting vehicle. We have the Progetto and the Caro, both auto-reloading mediums, both featuring very good damage output, solid armor that can be incredibly troll to shoot at, and are just very fun to play in any situation. And I'm having a tricky time picking what would be the best medium in the game, because I definitely think the Progetto 65 has some grounding for being one of the best mediums. If you're running refined gun, it's actually very accurate. And if you pair that with the fact this vehicle has a top speed of 58, solid DPM with 2,900 being an auto-reloader, and good alpha damage, I mean, there's almost no situation when I'm playing the Progetto where I feel outclassed. And then you arrive to a vehicle like the STB-1 with its gun depression. And I'm also a little torn on the Object 907, because the 907 features really good turret armor, and it features a gun which is absolutely incredible due to the mechanics that it features. And then we also have the Patton, and I think the Patton is absolutely insane. If you were to give me my 3 picks, it would be the Patton, the 907, and the Progetto. But I think, if you were to ask me what the best medium in Tier 10 currently is, we're going to go with the Object 907. Now, people might disagree, and they can. This is an opinionated video where obviously everybody's right to have whatever viewpoints and beliefs they want. But I'm going to be breaking into the reasons I think the 907 is the best medium in the game. First of all, the 907 is accurate. How accurate? Well, it has the same base dispersion as a Leopard 1. So running refined gun, you're sitting at 0.23 dispersion, which is absolutely insane. It's got high levels of DPM, 3,262 when running calibrated, which is crazy good, especially because you also feature 265 mils of AP pen and 340 on the gold. This vehicle features 7 degrees of gun depression, a top speed of 60, a reverse of 25, and a power to weight which is faster than the majority of medium tanks, and closer to that actually have a light. When you pair that with the fact that the 907 also features the tracer shells mechanic, which keeps your opponent spotted for 20 seconds at a time, and the fact that this vehicle itself has light tank camo values when sitting still in a bush, well, you can start to understand why the Object 907 is such a capable tank. It's got camo, it's got mobility, it's got DPM, accuracy, gun depression, and even decent turret armor. Now, that's not to say the 907 is the best medium for everybody. I think that the average player is going to do a lot better in an M48 Patton or even an STB over the 907. But personally, I believe that any skilled player who knows how to take advantage of this tank's capabilities will definitely excel when using this type of tank. Now, I am running gunpowder, and that is something I would highly recommend any player does when equipping a 907. Gunpowder is absolutely mandatory. And the major reason why is because it takes what is pretty bad on shell speed and actually makes it rather decent. We have the enemy Progetto, who was spotted in mid. I'm actually going to move up. And we're going to see if we can push the enemy off. We can see the enemy tanks are playing pretty aggressive, but what we can also see is that nobody is actually playing on the... Okay, bro. That's the one downside of having a low caliber gun, is that you don't have the ability to overmatch the Progetto upper plate if you hit it. It's not the end of the world. We still got a pretty nasty shell out, and the enemy team's already basically dead, but still can be a bit disappointing. Oof, that was a close shell to the Vickers, but no cigar. Progetto looked like he was going to cross, going to take a quick blind shot in the crossing there. And we also have the enemy Progetto, or not the Progetto, sorry, TL7. They also have a Progetto over there, but that's obviously not who we shot at. So we're going to move up. We're going to see if we can get a shell into the TL7 and aim it on his lower plate. There we go. Nice 358 shell. I'm not sure if we actually hit the enemy Progetto. It's kind of hard to tell, but we're just going to aim it on the TL7. We get another nice shot into his lower plate. You can see where the accuracy of this vehicle feels absolutely incredible. I mean, the gun is really dangerous, and we're obviously making quick work of our opponents here. We're going to go wide, and we're going to see if we can get out some bleeds doing this. I'm obviously going to try and conserve the health that I do have. So we get one nice shell into the enemy TL7. That vehicle has absolutely atrocious reverse speed and is now dead, so pretty good stuff. The Progetto is getting bled out, which is obviously quite good for us. I'm going to step just a little bit wide, and I don't know where our shell went. Well, just like that, we lost 800 health. That's rather unfortunate. Nothing I really could have done to prevent the other tank from shooting me. Probably a Progetto camping all the way in base A. We're going to overpoke, and we're going to get the clear into the enemy 66. But, of course, once again, we get punished for that. That's actually rather annoying. It's not even because of the fact we're getting punished, but more because their entire team appears to be camping at base A, which is just rather lame, rather than actually doing anything productive. Well, we are going to make our way up this hill, and we'll see how well that actually works out for them. We get a nice shot into the enemy Rhino, just like I predicted. Indeed, the enemy team is camping all the way in their spawn with that Progetto 65. Well, we got some good bleeds out already. The 111 we are not able to hit, but if he does keep backing up like so, we are able to get a nice shell out. A lot of low rolls coming from our tank right now, but we are getting shots out, and that is obviously the most important thing. Shoot at the Rhino once, the shell does not pen, but we get a second shell out. This is where that .23 dispersion is absolutely insane. You can see the ability to just slam shells out. Ooh, yep, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we were getting shot. But again, the great news about being in a tank like this is that we can light up our opponents even when they think that they are in cover. So if this Progetto stays out in the open, we are not only going to be able to shoot him, but there you go. Now that Progetto is spotted for the rest of the game. Now, I thought I was going to be detected myself, but it looks like that was actually not the case. We get the clear on the enemy Vickers CR, and it looks like his turret actually lands on the Progetto and causes some damage to his tank as well. Okay, well, we got the Rhino on the side, and there you go. Nice shell into the enemy Rhino for 358 damage, which again, keeps him lit up, keeps him spotted. Not able to get another shell into the enemy Rhino, but also not that big of a deal. Let's see if he tries to step into the base cap, and he does. Because we still have that spotting mechanic, there's almost nothing that Renat Charente is able to do to stop me from having the shell on him. We're going to aim it on the side of his tank, and we get a nice shell for 172. clearing his vehicle. We do have the Progetto shooting at us, and as dangerous as that Progetto is, I'm also not too worried. We got one shell into his tank, and now we're going to aim it on him hull down. We do miss the second shell, but I don't really care. We're already up on base cap, which is fine with me. And let's see, is the Progetto going to try and kill my teammate? He is. I'm not sure why our T-22 YOLO'd that, but it looks like... Well, it looks like we are going to win this, so... Oh, bruh. Man bounces shell. Well, good news is that we are here, and we get the clear. So, there you go. A pretty good first battle, I would say. 5,170 damage dealt. Obviously, that's going to be top on the team. And I think that was almost a fantastic illustration of the mechanics that the 907 has. The fact that we were able to keep that Vickers CR spotted meant that we could get the clear on him when in any other tank we wouldn't have been able to do that. The fact that we were able to shoot the Progetto and keep him spotted basically meant that he could no longer poke us unless he wanted to get constantly shot. And we were actually able to kill the enemy Rhino outside of our spotting range by simply shooting him with the tracer shell mechanic. You can see how influential the Object 907's capabilities are when you're able to use these mechanics to your advantage. And when you pair that with the fact that this vehicle has ridiculously good levels of accuracy, the fact that it has really good DPM, and that it's just a nice tank in general to mess around with, you can just get great results like that. Now, you will notice, for some reason, the 907 is derpy, and it's the same thing for, like, the Leopard. Even though it's the most accurate gun in the game, for some reason, the shells just like to go low. And I don't know why. You probably noticed that quite a bit in the first game you played. It's not the end of the world, but it definitely can feel a bit disappointing when you have shells going into the dirt when they shouldn't be. But my guess is it's just a little bit of reticle lag from wargaming servers, having the aiming circle a bit larger than it actually is when you're snapping on the move. We have a Sheridan, we have a Vickers Light, but I'm going to be honest, we have a big disadvantage in this game. The enemy team is a 140, they have a Caro, and they have a Bosch-Tion. And as much as I want to go wide, I also don't think going wide is the right play when the enemy team does have such dangerous vehicles. So instead, we're going to chill right here, and we're going to get a nice 345 damaging shot into the enemy Bosch-Tion. We're going to put on our adrenaline, and we're going to get another shell out into the enemy Caro. That right there is already 650 damage dealt, and we have the enemy tanks lit up, which is absolutely huge. So, let's see. Well, that is not great, and unfortunately we did overpoke. The problem is we have no support from our team. Like, literally, zero support. And as much as I want to try and hold off these tanks, oh, crazy Rhino, just sit out in the open. That's a great play. Oh boy. Well, we got the enemy Rhino, and we do get a pen into his turret. And there you go. We actually bait that Rhino out into the open, allowing the rest of our team to get some very, very good bleeds into him. But at the same time, this is not a good game. Our team is, well, not doing great. Let's just put it like that. Let's move over here, and that Bat Chat gets nuked. And unfortunately, our shell goes low. Once again, as I said, shells love to go low in the 907. But we're still alive. The Vickers is obviously not doing too well. We're going to see if the enemy team tries to push up on our team here. We've got the Caro. Oh, there you go. The Caro does die, which is obviously quite important. E5 loads a heat shell and cuts through our turret armor, which is not surprising. E5 will do that with how much pen it does feature. But we get a nice shell into the E5's track wheel. And we're going to obviously reload, and we're going to do it again. There you go. E5 bounces me that time. The armor on this tank, while not incredible, is definitely troll, and people will bounce it quite commonly, which you will definitely find to be the case. So we are going to move behind the Hotry. We're going to get another shell out, but I'm going to start backing up before that Bosch-Tion has the opportunity to kill me, and we're going to aim in right on his tank, getting that clear. Pretty good stuff, if I say so myself. This E5... not sure why he's tunneling me over the 183 in front, but hey, to each their own, right? We're going to try and support our 183 by clearing the Object 140, which we do. And now, this E5 is stuck in a rather tricky situation. His situation is either shoot the 183 or shoot the 907. And he's definitely going to shoot the 183, but he messes up the shot, and now we're going to keep him permatracked, which is obviously not exactly what he wants. Then we're going to speed behind him here, and we're going to get another shell into the E5. Again, the DPM on this vehicle, the level of output that it has is absolutely incredible. We could have been able to deal a lot more damage this game as well. As we can see, the enemy team has a very, very healthy Super Conqueror. But at the end of the day, with the base cap being 1,000, we aren't able to deal any more. But that's the 907, and this is why it's such an incredible tank. It has accuracy, DPM, turret armor, and a gun that does not care about your feelings. And because of that, we are not only able to give our team important holding while the battle was going through, but we were also able to get a win. I like how the E5 gave me a lucky little lucky clover there, even though we just kind of outplayed him. He should have focused the 183 when he instead reversed into the open and shot me instead, which was just a really bad play from him. You clear the most dangerous tanks first. Letting that 183 live and allowing me to use that 183 as cannon fodder to clear the 907 and support against that Hovry was a massive misplay from that E5. And if he had simply pushed the 183 and then killed him, I would have probably been forced to leave and try and help out the rest of my team with the Super Conqueror rather than kill the E5. But that was a misplay on his part, I can tell you that for a fact. So, what can I say about the 907? Well, I think it's the best medium in the game. I think that the Tracer Shells mechanic allows you to dominate in open maps. I think the solid turret armor, mobility, accuracy, and DPM allow you to dominate on close range maps with that good turret. I mean, sure, the turret's not as good as it used to be because it was slightly nerfed, but that does not mean it's bad. It is still very troll. Anybody aiming at a hull down 907 knows how rat the turret is. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'll see you in the next one. Please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Bye-bye.